Yo, welcome back to the checkup where we talk hoops and hoops only. And we're back once again with another video. You see the title. And let's just say, even though it's a small sample size, the Washington Wizards actually look decent. Like, they look like a potential playoff team. And I know it's early, like I said, small sample size, but in my East standings prediction video that I dropped probably 3 weeks ago, I want to say, but something around that time, I had the Wizards finishing as the 12th seed in the Eastern Conference in the bottom half of the conference. And as of right now, the Wizards are 5-2, tied for third in the East with New York and Philadelphia. And, I really like their team. I didn't think they'd be playing this good this early. I thought maybe they'd show promise later on in the year, but so far they've started off on the right foot. And it's because they're playing as a team. It's been very nice to see. I haven't seen a lot of games. I've seen highlights. I've seen maybe like 1 or 2 games this season from them, but I've kept my eye on them. Crazy part is they're missing a couple key guys like Thomas Bryant and Rui Hachimura, who are both out, and they're both starter caliber players for this team. Washington's new additions from the Westbrook deal, those guys have been stepping it up with these two guys being out. Kuzma looking like pre-LeBron Kuzma. Montrezl Harrell playing at that 6th man of the year level that he was in 2020. And they're giving Bradley Beal all the help that he needs to start the season off the right way. Then we go into their big free agent move. I mean, it wasn't a big NBA free agent move, but it was big for them. Obviously, trading Russell Westbrook means they needed a new point guard, and they picked up a solid point guard. Spencer Dinwiddie, who we know was a bucket on Brooklyn before he got hurt towards ACL last season. He's came back, and he's so far averaging 18.8 points per game as a starting point guard this season for Washington. The Wizards have had a lot of balanced scoring nights, and I think that's a big reason for their putting it together this season. They've played pretty nicely because of that, and their bench is not that bad either. We don't really talk about them, but they got solid players off the bench like Davis Bertans, who they signed to a contract. Has he really lived up to the contract? We can debate about that. Montrezl Harrell does come off the bench when Daniel Gafford is playing, and that's another guy that I like. Daniel Gafford brings big energy to that team. So Montrezl Harrell coming off the bench and playing that 6-man role is, I think, going to be really beneficial for when they want to go into that deep stretch of trying to make a playoff push. So I think right now Washington's got a couple players that are, all-star caliber. I'd say Bradley Beal is obviously one of them. Spencer Dinwiddie's not. I wouldn't say he's an all-star, but he puts up all-star numbers, or he can give you all-star numbers on any given night. And I think that's a big reason why it helps them, because he shoots efficiently, unlike Russell Westbrook. And I think that's a big reason for their success. Another guy we didn't mention from that Laker deal who's also shooting efficiently is KCP. Caldwell Pope is playing pretty solid for them. He starts as well, and he's been shooting at a pretty good level to start the season off as well. If you look at Washington's ranks across the league, they're pretty good. They're pretty solid. They're 6th in points per game, but last season they were high in points per game as well. And they're in the middle of the pack on defense. They're 17th in opponent points per game, which isn't that great, but I didn't expect for them to be a good defensive team, which is why I had them finishing low. But if they can score at this rate and keep in that middle of the pack on the defensive side, they should be a playoff team, because as of right now, the Wizards look really good to start the year. But I think there's one question that lies for this Wizards team is, you're not going to win anything. You can finish 6th, 7th, 5th, it don't matter. The Wizards are not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere far. And the question is, you've had Bradley Beal for all these years, but you've also got these mix of nice young players on the team. Do you look to trade Bradley Beal at the deadline for picks and other good young talent that can potentially propel the rebuild? Because right now the rebuild is more important than them making an 8 seed and getting bumped first round. I think everybody knows this, and I think even the Washington organization knows this. Washington as of right now is good, but that doesn't mean they can't have a fall off and just completely fall out of the playoff picture. It's still way too early. But if they continue at this rate, do you just trade Bradley Beal anyways? because they're not going to win anything. I think that's the only negative that comes with this team. But we're going to focus on the positives. They've been really fun to watch. And Wizards fans should be happy with this team so far. I mean, I didn't think they'd be this good to kick off the year. You know, their ceiling is a first round exit, but they should be a fun team to watch during the regular season. They've been impressive, and they do have options that they can do to either propel the season or to kick their rebuild into the next gear. Anyways, that's going to do it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Link will be down in the description. This has been The Checkup, where we talk hoops and hoops only. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.